Are we on? We're on. Okay. Oh my goodness, that was embarrassing. The entire last episode, we made all this progress, and the mic wasn't working, or it just wasn't. So I'm using OBS, and I think what happens with it is that when I change the audio from my headset that I'm currently using to the speakers that I've got on my computer, I think when it does that, it just kind of has a bit of a fit and doesn't like it. So, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to remember what I talked about in the last episode. Talked about a bunch of things. I still need that. Why am I breaking that? Talked about a couple of things, but namely was I mentioned there was a Nerf event that happened. Now I was planning on going to that. Um, However, I got a surprise visitor from one of my long distance friends who I've known for a little while now. So, throughout the whole episode, I talked about what Nerf is and the entire hobby itself, and yeah, and very obviously nothing was recording, so that's sad. So I'll just have to talk about it today, I guess. Maybe a few other things too. So last episode we went mob hunting and then made a little bit of progress on the house. While talking about a couple of things like Nerf. Um, in between episodes, did a bit of storage sorting, and I went mining for a little bit too. Yeah, I got 30 ore, 30 iron. Nothing too crazy. Just a bit of cobble and a bit of iron. Um, I did promise that like I wouldn't do anything exciting on camera, and I've kind of kept that promise. Um, I just realized that I've got sand. I have sand. Oh, that's what I was doing. Okay, so all that stuff that I just got rid of and from my inventory was what I was supposed to be doing today. Um, Decorating a little bit of a gravel pathway, and then yes, farming. Farming's the thing for today. Um, and yes, I've actually got sand that I can use for these windows. I've been looking at this wool going, this is cool and all, but like, I think I'd rather have actual glass, so that's new. Um, alright, so Nerf. Nerf as a hobby. So, it's a bit of a niche hobby that I'm a little bit into. I'm still kind of keeping it a bit casual, but it's this hobby where there's Nerf guns that you get from shops and whatnot, but um, these blasters are not anywhere near that level. They are crazy. So everything is measured in feet per second, and the Nerf hobby, the competitive Nerf scene, at least in Sydney, is we have a feet per second cap or a FPS cap of 350 feet per second. Your typical Nerf gun off of the shelf at Target or Kmart, um, that kind of hits in Australia at least about 60. Um, for reference, paintball is about 350, 400 FPS. So shit stings. But where I am at the moment, the part of Australia that I'm in, we can't have. It's completely illegal for airsoft. And which it kind of sucks, but I get it. I understand, and I'm okay with that. So Nerf is like the much cheaper alternative to paintball because the ammunition that you use is all completely reusable, which is great. So the way that we operate is that you join, and you go to an event, and it's $20 for the entire day. You know, hours of gameplay, and it's awesome. Um, and because it's $20, you get dart hire, so you get, you know, however much you want, and you shoot as much as you want, and it's $20 flat rate for the entire day, which is insanely good. Paintball, you always feel like, you know, every time you reload, it's like, oh, man, that's more money, more money, more money just being sucked away, launched through the you know, through the thing. But with Nerf, it's like, well, no, actually, I can, whatever happens, happens. I can go and go and go. Does not matter, because I've paid my $20. Now, the sad part about the Sydney Nerf event that happened was that we've been playing typically at one field, and it was like it was literally someone's backyard, but it was like a miniature paintball field in someone's backyard on like kind of this rural property, and we played like next door to like a bee farm. It was crazy cool. But the people who live there have had to sell and move, so we won't be able to use that field. So we're kind of in a little bit of limbo as to where we're going to be. Is that the right term for that? We're kind of in a bit of a moment where it's like we're not exactly sure what's happening next, but someone will work it out. Ah, that music, man. That music. It's just, the old C418 is just amazing. I mean, the new guys and girls are the new composers are awesome too in their own right, but there's just something magical about the old C418 original album. There's a reason why Minecraft is popular, and its music is, in my opinion, the music is a big, heavy influence on why Minecraft is so popular. Yeah, it just feels, being back in this version of Minecraft, it just feels incredible, you know? You try so many times to rekindle that, like, feeling of being a kid again. So far in this world, I feel like I've actually got it. This is the feeling. You know, it reminds me of like those times where you get carried from the car at the end of a long night, and you know you pretend to be asleep, and you know Dad has to carry you in and put you to bed. I mean, I totally didn't pretend to be asleep. I totally was though. That's what playing this game feels like to me. It feels like being carried to bed as a child. From the car, specifically from the car, not from anywhere else. Exactly, specifically from the old silver Commodore wagon with the drums in the back, which is, for people who don't know me, you have no idea what I'm talking about. So I guess that probably that kind of leads into family, I guess. So I come from a very musical family. My dad, my granddad, my brothers and I, we all play drums. A couple other things as well. Like I started playing trumpet when I was a kid, and then kind of moved on to piano, bit of drums, bit of singing. And now I've actually moved on to guitar as well, which is cool. So as a teacher, being able to carry a guitar into school and just like start playing is you know, that gets you noticed pretty quickly, and the kids love it. But family, yes, my dad, we always went to Dad's gigs and whatnot, and he, you know, did a bunch of different types of shows. And yeah, we'd go, and if there was ever a local one, we'd go out and watch and be part of that live music, and it was really cool to see Dad play and whatnot. Yeah, that looks good. I like that. But yeah, sometimes those late nights were really late. I don't know what kind of glass I want to do here. Do I want to do big, like, sixes? That could be cool. Like this. Oh, I reckon 9. That would be cool. Big windows. I love my big windows. And then same thing on the other side. I get so easily distracted, man. I'm supposed to be talking about my family. Oh, I don't know. Do I like the asymmetrical? I kind of do like the a bit of an asymmetrical vibe of the thing. 6 here, 9 there, 8 there, not 9. What am I doing? Even numbers, Pat. Primary teacher over here. Yeah, so that's what my dad does. My dad, by day he taught music as a tutor, and then by night he was, playing live shows and whatnot. Just the coolest. And then Mum worked when I was growing up, kind of primary school. She did aged care for a bit. But then she moved from that into a office administrator work for a church, and she's been there for over 10 years. And that's cool in its own right. She's, she's well known and well regarded kind of thing. She puts a lot into that place, and it shows. I get recognized all the time. Like, if you ever want to get recognized out in public, work in a primary school that's like ages 6 to 12 if you're not inside of Australia. Work as a teacher and then go to your local supermarket. Good grief. You'll be recognized no matter what time you go. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Either do that or have your parent work at a church and then go, within half a kilometre of that church, anywhere. And you'll probably pretty quickly be like, oh, are you so and so's son? It's like, oh, huh? Yes. How did you? Anyway, people see a resemblance that I don't see, which is cool. Confusing to me, but it's cool. It's like, how did you see that from forever away? This is starting to look real nice with the windows. The windows make it work, I think. I wasn't planning on doing the windows like this, but now that they are like this, I'm pretty chuffed. Pretty happy with it. Second time we've used chuffed. Let's go. If this ever blows up, I hope all the Americans start saying chuffed for some reason. This just sounds funny to me. How would Americans even say the word chuffed? Dude, I'm chuffed. It doesn't work. Ugh. That sounded gross, actually. Didn't like that. Yeah, I want to keep that side blank. Because I want to do something there. I don't know what, but I want to do something there. Oh, and I made reference to... I plonked down this crafting table specifically under this tree for a reason. This is actually a Captain Sparkles reference. Now, it's a very, very niche reference, and it's like, you wouldn't get it, but I think it's Dynamite. It's the Teo Cruz Dynamite song, except it's the TNT. Goes to work under the birch tree. Make myself some TNT. I actually want to use some TNT in this. I feel like a mining trip might be in order very soon. Yeah, I need to start cooking some of this. Yes, so we're at the halfway point for this episode already, and I've done nothing but waffle and maybe chop down a tree or two and put some glass in. So things are moving quick as ever. No, I want to get started on a farm because I understand that I've got enough pork chop to last me forever at this point in time. with the rate that I get hurt. I probably could actually bump up the difficulty. We'll see. We'll see. Yes, we had this Nerf event that happened, and it's a cool hobby. There's some pretty interesting characters who go along to that, but we had our most recent event, and me and my mate who we were planning on going, but we got a surprise guest from a place it's about 3 hour drive away from where we live. And so we spent as much time as we could with him, and that ended up going well into the night. Back to the park again, actually, which I hope we don't annoy the neighbors, but we probably do. But yeah, back to the park again. 25 years old, going down the slippery dip, you know. It's a bit of a time to be alive. I need my bucket. There we go. I had my bucket that whole time. Also, suggestions for what to do with the floor. Because I got this wooden floor that's really... I got the wooden ceiling that's really cool. I got the cobblestone walls. I have zero clue what I want to do for the floor. What have I got? Yeah, none of that would work. I don't know. Maybe I'll just continue with the wood theme. I mean, what else can you do? But I want to make it some kind of interesting something. Don't know where to put a farm. I mean, this could be a nice spot for a farm, but it's like... I don't know. No, I don't want to use this spot for the farm. This is a nice enough... I want to use this spot for like a dock. A dock would be really cool around here. So yeah, I'm going to put a little farm next to here, just to... A little starter base farm. Low expectations. I don't have a shovel. What happened to my shovel? No shovel? Can't farm without a shovel. Well, Jeremy Clarkson would probably tell you otherwise. Yes, I have the materials already. Oop. I'll go and plant the sugarcane down by the ye old lake. Pretty sure geographically that is a lake. Even though I'm pretty sure that biome is, it's going to tell me beach if I walk over there. That's not a beach, that's a lake. And it's not a river, it's a lake. My geography is builds a shovel and then not uses it. Hold on. Do I want to expand this little area out a little bit? Maybe a little. Might say little again. Yeah. In a little while. New news that YouTube doesn't know. I introduced this series to my fiance, so she's probably watching at some point and laughing at me because I just recorded an entire episode without a microphone. But I introduced her to this series, gave her the channel name, and she's subscribed. Thank goodness. Imagine if she didn't. I actually think I forced her to subscribe. That's actually just equally as bad. But no, she's pretty chill. She's seen it and gone, yeah. I mean, obviously she's chill with it, but I get really not self-conscious being on camera, but yeah, basically. So, and I want this series to be as good as it can be in terms of being a life journal. Now, I've talked a little bit about life journal, or, where I'm at in life, but it's also I'm wanting it to be as natural as possible. So big events like my recent engagement, that's kind of kicked things off. Nothing huge on the horizon just yet, but we're planning an engagement party at the moment, and I'm feeling a little bit, not overwhelmed or stressed, but like there's a lot to do, and I want to do my part, but I also am hesitant because I'm alright with that sort of thing, but I'm not as good as what she is. But I also don't want to make her feel like she's, you know, the only person doing the organising. She's very good at putting things into action. She'll come up with an idea and it'll be a reality within 24 hours. Me, I dawdle. I take too long to do things, if I'm honest. Like, I thought about doing this series, this life journaling kind of thing. I thought about it for a good solid, probably a month and a half of just like, oh yeah, that's a cool idea. Maybe even 2 months of just, oh yeah, that's a cool idea. If it was my fiance who was the one doing it, she would have been doing it that very day. She would have thought about it and just started. You know how there are people who are like overthinkers? Yeah. I'd probably call myself an underthinker. And I'm very aware that many people would be, you know, feeling like that's a superpower. Like they wish they could be an underthinker, but they just can't. And I do empathize with that. I'm not to say that I'm not, you know, completely loosey-goosey, easygoing 24/7. I do have moments where I'm stressed out of my mind. But, you know, what you're hearing is... Well, this is actually probably me at my most relaxed. I'm usually a bit more hyperactive than this. Oh, hang on a minute. Beta 173, that's gonna be... I can just walk over this and it'll go... do we try out the fence technique? I might do that off camera, actually. It's a bit boring to do that on camera, but... Basically, if you put a fence underneath the block, then you put a grass... But then you... put a fence underneath, all the way across, and then you can... have your seeds. You can actually walk on top of it and not, you know, break your wheat. So it makes farming a lot quicker. Just going to place the other 5 over here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, because if I walk on this now, it's going to... Yeah, it breaks it. It destroys it. That's annoying. I now need to replace this. And there's not going to be any seeds around me. This is going to be great. I am not OCD. But there. There. Better. Yeah, okay, so we've started a little farm. We'll have bread shortly, but better than bread, we want cake. Alright? We want cake, and for that I'm going to need a few more buckets, so I might get to smelting this iron as well. You can't place... Hang on sand? Doesn't work on sand? Crazy. Ooh, red mushroom. That's nice. I'm gonna place it around here. Yeah, this is it. Oh, another pack. Another seed. Great. That's what I wanted. Red mushroom. I want that for decoration, but also mushroom stew is amazing in this version. It is a lot of hearts, and you get to keep the bowl, and you eat it instantly. The problem is that I have zero clue how to grow mushrooms, or if they can even grow. Now there's this little patch over here. I was kind of hoping that that would kind of expand. Let's place that there and just see how that goes. So, Also, Sam, I'm so sorry. I gave you a little bit of a shout out in the last episode and then no microphone. Sam, I love you, man. Every time I upload one of these, I can't wait for your comment. Dude, it's like so crazy. I can't believe like I even have any subscribers or anyone watching this. It's like I'm not over the moon, but seriously, it's like huge that even one person would watch this that is not like connected to my, personal life. So, yeah, dude, thanks. Like it's really appreciated. And oh my goodness, that the lore in that world, you are you joking? That's insane level of detail. If I could have half that amount of lore in one Minecraft world, I will be happy as. Like that's crazy level of detail. What am I after? I need to put my saplings away. I also need to get this roof done. My goodness. I totally forgot. Now, do I want to have wool as part of the upper floor thing, or do I want to have windows upstairs? Because I like the idea of using wool in a build, but these are all kind of geared, they look like spots for windows, but I want to see what wool looks like, because I've seen stuff online about using wool like this, and I loved it. So let's see if it looks good in my builds. It does not. They need to be windows. Sorry. That was horrendous. Never mind. That's gross. Give me that. Maybe next time. We're still building up our wool collection anyway. Every time I see a sheep, it's like, get it. You know, because I want to use a lot. I'm going to be using probably a lot of wool. I mean, I did see one earlier over there, but brown sheep, brown wool. Oh, calories. If you get the reference, well done. And now we go. We can't have you adding to the mob count. Yeah, windows up there, stone roof. No. Ooh, stone like outside and then like wood on the inside plus the middle bit. Yes. This would work. For that I need stairs. Let us build in I have a minute left. Actually less than that. Great. I might record 2 episodes because I want to. Just because, as an apology, yeah, here we go. Here I'm going to BS my way through making a second episode. As an apology for the 4th episode having absolutely zero monologue. Correct use of dialogue / monologue. As an apology for the 4th episode containing absolutely no voice whatsoever, I'm going to record a second one just in a moment. Yep. Not because I want to play more Minecraft on a Sunday night when I'm supposed to be getting ready for work tomorrow, but because I care for my 4 subscribers very dearly. Right, so I'm about to go to bed, and then we're going to do the next episode. And get started on this roof, man. Alright, next episode, here we go.